just went through it. I wanted to do my third project on the mythology behind Cupid and kind of how that related to the Renaissance to present day. So I just wanted to start by asking, what is mythology? Mythology was, I guess classical mythology is what I'm focusing on today, and that includes the Greek and Roman portrayal of the gods and goddesses of Olympus. They were used or created to explain natural or seemingly unnatural phenomenon. So think of way back when. They wouldn't have been able to describe they could, but explain rain. They had no idea why it rained. So they would create these stories, usually featuring the gods and goddesses, about why it rained. It usually featured elements of the supernatural, but to their credit, they didn't necessarily know that it was supernatural. These were things that they really did believe. It reflected the beliefs, values, and customs of a culture, so they were also able to create these to kind of reinforce how they wanted their culture to be. And they often featured the gods, goddesses, and other heroic figures. And so I am focusing on Cupid. And Cupid, it wasn't actually originally named Cupid. His name was Eros, because that's the Greek word for desire, love, passion, kind of all those strong emotions that we also associate with love. And Eros would play with the hearts of mortals and gods to cause mayhem. So he was known as being kind of a menace, as he would make the wrong people fall in love. And so as you can see, I wrote that that he focused more on the dark side of love. That's because, like I mentioned, he would make the wrong people fall in love just to toy with people. And people were really intimidated by this, that they eventually switched him from being a young man, like he is in this picture, to being a baby. And the reason they did this is because they decided that he would be better controlled if Aphrodite, his mom, kept him on a really tight leash. And so it would be kind of weird if his mom was still keeping a really tight leash on him as a young adult. So they switched him to be a baby. And that was still all during its time in Greek mythology. And then the Romans took that version of Eros, and they renamed him Cupid, similar to a lot of the gods at that time, as in Hera became Juno, Aphrodite became Venus. They renamed him as well, and Eros became Cupid, and he was still this little boy that we know him to be today, and that was reflected in the artwork at the time. He was still this little boy. And then during the Renaissance, we know that Christian artwork was really popular during this time. So they had this really big focus on Bible stories and just kind of things of the past. And so Greek and Roman mythology was a part of this. And so they also painted a lot of Greek and Roman mythology. And so this is from the Renaissance era. This is a picture of Aphrodite and Cupid. As you can see, they're really close, and he doesn't really seem like he'd be causing too much mayhem with that kind of closeness with his mother. And Christianity was the norm. Most people were painting things of Christianity, were often commissioned to do so, but mythology still fit the same values. So while it might not have been the same story as what was in the Bible, they still did have the same values, and so they could still make some kind of statement by painting these kinds of things. And during Baroque mythology, classical mythology was still a really big thing, and the drama was really reflected in their mythology pieces. So this is not Cupid, this is the Fall of Icarus, which is another classical mythology story, but I wanted to show just the drama that they were known for incorporating into their pieces. And then how this relates to modern society, Cupid was kind of known as being associated with Valentine's Day. I believe it was in the 18th century. And then what really sent it was in the 19th century, with the postage stamp in the US becoming significantly cheaper. So people were able to send postcards. And Hallmark really capitalized on that. This is a postcard from 1910 when Hallmark created this to just have people be able to send to each other. And as you can see, it is featuring Cupid. And so from then on, we have just always associated Cupid as being part of Valentine's Day, being part of this good part of love that he wasn't really originally the god of, but now he is. And these are the works that I checked out. If you are interested in learning more, I would definitely recommend those resources. So, yeah, thank you.